into the record and then tell the judge the one issue that we have remaining, okay?
Morning, this is cause number 2020-24351. In the interest of Stephen Michael Stubblefield, all parties, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Elizabeth Stubblefield. I'm his mother.
All right, sir, your name and your relationship to the children.
Michael LeCompte, I'm the father.
All right, representing the father.
My name is Udo Eziamama. I'm with the Morley firm, and I represent Michael LeCompte.
All right, for the state.
Toya Armstrong, representing the Office of the Attorney General.
And we got a petition to establish parent-child relationship.
Yes, Your Honor,
We're having a hearing.
we are. We have one issue remaining.
I'm sorry.
We have one issue remaining.
Okay, you want to read the stipulations into the record?
Yes, sir. If the court can take judicial notice of the positive DNA testing order between the child of this case and Mr. Michael LeCompte that cannot exclude him as the father.
I'm sorry.
Okay, the parties agreed to establish the parent-child relationship between the child and Michael. The parties agreed that the parties will be made joint managing conservators with mom as the primary and where the child will primarily live, and mom will be restricted to keep the child within Harris County or contiguous counties. The parties also agreed that dad will pay child support of $632 per month. That payment will begin January 1st of 2021. The parties also agreed that dad will provide both health insurance and dental insurance through his employer for the child. The parties also agreed a retroactive child support in the amount of $20,000 as of today's date, December 17th, 2020, and that dad will pay that back at a rate of $150 per month, payment to begin January 1st, 2020, and payments will then step up to $782 per month if he has not paid off his balance when the child emancipates. Parties also agreed to court costs to be paid by dad if billed by Harris County, due on or before March 1st of 2021. Those are all these stipulations, Your Honor.
And what are the issues?
The only remaining issue is visitation.
Okay, possession and access. All right, let's proceed.
Okay, I'd like to call Ms. Stubblefield first.
All right.
Elizabeth Stubblefield, are you the mother of the child of this case, Stephen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you agree to all of the agreements I told the judge we had to, that we agreed to?
I was working on it, yes.
Do you agree to, yes, okay. So the only thing remaining is the visitation, right? What visitation you want for your son?
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of visitation would you like Mr. Lecomte to have with your son?
None.
No visitation. And what is the age of your son?
He is 14 years old.
Okay. And is there any safety concerns that would make you not want Mr. Lecomte to have any visitation with a 14-year-old?
Other than not knowing him, none that I know of.
Okay.
We are
And
not close.
when you say not know him, what do you mean by that?
We're not friends. We don't talk, socialize. We haven't. So I don't know him.
Oh, you don't know him. I thought you meant the child doesn't know him. Okay. When's the last
He's
time Lecomte visited with your son?
4 years ago, the day of his wedding to his wife.
Okay. So your son does know Mr. Lecomte is his father, is that right?
Yes.
And your son has had a previous relationship with his father, is that right? Up until 4 years ago?
Some visits, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Ezemama, you have any questions for the witness?
No questions for the witness.
All right. So far, the stipulations that the Attorney General has read into the record, those are your agreements so far? And the only issue is the possession and access?
Correct.
All right. Go ahead. Call your next witness, Ms. Armstrong.
I call my next witness, Micah Lecomte. Sir, when's the last time you saw your son?
Would have been my wedding day in 2016.
2016. Okay. And are you wanting to build a relationship with your son now?
Yes, I've wanted to for years.
Okay. And do you have a place where he could stay if he came to your house to visit?
I have a fully furnished bedroom ready to go for him.
So he would have his own room?
He would have his own room and plenty of amenities if needed.
Okay. Does your son know you as his father?
Yes, he does. He doesn't know me intimately, but he knows that I'm his father and we've have spoken.
Okay. All right. And
Sorry, I'm sorry. There's a lot of echo. Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Lecomte? I think you're speaking through the attorney's speaker.
Yes, sir, I was, because we were generating a lot of feedback. I apologize about that. Me and
Okay.
him were in the same room at this time.
All right. Mr. Ezemama can mute his speaker. Yeah, go ahead. His mic. All right, go ahead. Okay, ask the question again, please, if you remember.
Yes, sir. I was asking, are you wanting to build a relationship with your son now, going forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you were saying that you have an environment where he could stay if he came to spend the night or stay for a couple hours. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of visitation are you asking the court to give you right now with your son?
I'm asking for the modified that we had agreed to in the agreement, because I do understand it has been a lot of time in between, so I do understand it does need to be a buildup. This is a child we're talking about. So I agree to that because I want to build up to it so we can build a proper relationship together.
Okay, and that was, I believe, was it phase, you want to start with phase 3 for 6 visits? Was that right? Phase
Yes,
3
ma'am.
hour
Yes, ma'am. Phase
visitation.
3 and then to phase 4 in March.
Phase 4 also for 6 visits. We don't do dates. Phase 4 also for 6 visits, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then after you do phase 3 and phase 4, did you want to go to a standard possession order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And is there any reason why you have not seen your son in 4 years?
We tried talking to her, obviously, through our negotiations earlier. You see that it never worked out the way we all would have hoped to not get to this point. Eventually, it just came down to I have to let the courts decide because there was nothing I could do at that point. I tried what I could and it didn't work, so I had to leave it to y'all.
Okay, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Stubblefield, do you have any questions for Mr. LeCompte?
I don't think so. I mean, I already offered.
Do you have
lowering
any
the-
questions for Mr. LeCompte, Ms. Stubblefield?
Am I muted? No. No, sir, I do not.
Okay, Mr. Ezemama, do you have any questions for your client?
Sure, just one question. Is there any reason why you feel like your son will not be safe in your hands?
None that I can think of. I'm in a very loving home. I have a large family. I'm not in trouble with the law. No history of anything bad like that. I can't think of any reason why.
I passed the witness.
All
No
right,
further questions.
Ms. Armstrong?
No further witnesses, Your Honor. No further questions for this witness.
All right, anything you want to say, Ms. Stubblefield?
Yes, Your Honor. The only reason that I'm requesting the no visitation is because having not really known Mr. LeCompte that well and the lack of communication at 14, my son has expressed that he does not want to be forced into a relationship with him. If it was not forced, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I feel like I'm doing my son a disservice by forcing it at his age. That's the only
Okay.
reason I'm saying anything.
And Mr. Ezemama, you have anything further?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Armstrong, you talked about a modified possession with starting with phase 3. Is that what you had suggested?
That is what I suggested.
For how many times?
For 6 visits at phase 3, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. For 6 visits, and then he would go to phase 4, which would
All
be
right.
also for 6 visits. And
All
then
right.
the center.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, the court approves all the stipulations that we have entered into the record, and the court orders that it would be in the best interest of the child for the father to have modified possession and access beginning with phase 3 with all phases for 6 visits each, thereafter standard possession order. Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank
Just
you.
one question to Mr. Ezemami. Mr. Ezemami, is it okay if I use you and your client's signature on the order I had previously? All I have to do is change. Stubblefield will not be signing the order. Everything else will stay the same the way you signed it. Is that okay? Do I have your permission to do that?
Yes, you do.
That way I don't have to resend it to you. Okay, thank you for your permission. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He's gone. Bye.
Okay, bye.